Ever wondered what a city designed by a comedian would look like? Not just any comedian, but the one and only Bill Burr. Picture this. A sprawling metropolis for 500,000 people built entirely in his image. What would that even entail? Well, buckle up, because we're about to dive into the hilariously chaotic and surprisingly brilliant world of Burr. First off, let's talk about the city's motto. Forget the city that never sleeps. Burville's motto would probably be something like, "Look, just try not to be a jerk." All right, it sets the tone perfectly. It's direct, a little bit grumpy, but ultimately, it's about common sense and basic decency. No flowery language, just a simple request for everyone to be a little more considerate. The architecture would be something else. No, pointless, overly ornate buildings that cost a fortune and serve no real purpose. Bill would demand function over form. Everything would be brutally practical. Think study, brick buildings that can withstand a New England winter, a hurricane, and probably a zombie apocalypse. The aesthetic would be what you might call industrial grump chic. Lots of exposed brick, steel beams, and absolutely no pastel colors. He'd probably have a city ordinance against decorative shutters that don't actually shut. What's the point of these things? They're just collecting dust. Get rid of them. Transportation in Burville would be a masterclass in efficiency and rage reduction. First, the public transit would be legendary. Clean on time, and with drivers who have been trained in the art of the burr stare to keep troublemakers in line. But the real genius would be the road system. Forget confusing intersections and four-way stops where everyone just sort of politely yet aggressively inches forward. Burville would have roundabouts everywhere. Why? Because as Bill has ranted about many times, they force you to keep moving. There's no sitting there waiting for a light. You just yield and go. It's a beautiful, flowing system designed to minimize traffic and, more importantly, the infuriating indecisiveness of other drivers. And the horn. Using your horn for anything other than a genuine, immediate danger would result in a fine. Not a small fine either! Hey, now you gotta work overtime kind of fine. What about the local economy? Burville would be a city that celebrates skilled trades. Forget a million coffee shops selling $100 avocado toast. Instead, you'd find workshops for mechanics, carpenters, plumbers, and electricians on every corner. The most respected citizens wouldn't be influencers. They'd be the people who can actually fix your boiler on a freezing February morning. The education system would have a huge focus on vocational training. Every high school would have a fully equipped wood shop, auto shop, and metal shop. Burr would want kids to learn how to build something, fix something, and be. A college degree is great, he'd say, but knowing how to change a tire is a life skill. Now let's imagine the social life. Bars in Burville would be, well, they'd be bars. No fancy mixologists crafting $20 cocktails with the elderflower foam, just good beer on tap, a solid whiskey selection, and a bartender who can pour a drink without making a big production out of it. The main form of entertainment? Stand-up comedy? Of course. The city would have a central complaint hall, where every Friday night, citizens can take the stage for 5 minutes and just unload about whatever has been bugging them all week. Your neighbor's dog, the price of zip ties, the guy at work who chews to loud its. All fair game. It's group therapy through shared frustration, and it would be the hottest ticket in town. And what about city laws and governance? The city council meetings would be must-see TV. Bill, as the permanent mayor for life, would preside over the meetings with an iron fist and a microphone. No long, rambling speeches filled with political jargon. You get 2 minutes to state your problem and your proposed solution. If you go over your time, a loud buzzer sounds, and you're done. He'd cut through the nonsense with laser-like precision. All right, lady, I get it. The squirrels are eating your birdseed. What do you want me to do? Pass a law against squirrels. Get a better bird feeder. Next, it would be brutally efficient and wildly entertaining. Let's consider the little details that would make Burville unique. All crosswalk signals would just be a recording of Bill yelling, "Hey, walk!" Came on. The light's green. Let's go, people! To report a pothole, you wouldn't fill out a form online. You'd just call a city hotline, and a grumpy but effective public works employee would answer with a simple, "Yeah, what's the problem?" And the pothole would be fixed by sundown. Sports would be huge, but there would be a strict no fair weather fans policy. You pick a team, and you stick with them through thick and thin. If you're caught wearing a rival's jersey after your team has a bad season, you're sentenced to a month of mandatory volunteer work at the city's recycling center. The parks wouldn't have manicured flower beds. They'd have hiking trails, outdoor hockey rinks, and maybe a few well-maintained barbecue pits. Places for people to actually do things, not just sit and look pretty. The city's official mascot wouldn't be a cuddly animal. It would be a grumpy-looking bulldog wearing a construction helmet. Its name would be Gus. So, would you live in Burrville? A city of 500,000 people designed by Bill Burr. It would be a city of no-nonsense, high efficiency, and brutal honesty. A place where complaining is a civic pastime and common sense is the law of the land. It might not be for everyone. The overly sensitive might not last a week. But for those who appreciate directness, practicality, and a good, healthy dose of cynical humor, Burrville might just be paradise. It's a city built on the idea that life is tough, but it's a lot more bearable if we all just stop being idiots for 5 minutes. What do you think? What other features would a city designed by Bill Burr have? Let me know your ideas down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this little thought experiment, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content. See you in the next one!